So in 2024, I really made or took a vow with myself that I was gonna put me first and be serious. Um, and going into 2025, there there I was in a job that was really honestly spiritually raping me, financially raping me. They were altering my time cards. They were not paying me for the hours that I was working. Management was ganging and bullying against me. They were trying to turn my coworkers against me. Like, it was just so much shit going on in this job. And one of the things that remained very standard was me taking care of myself and putting myself first. Just in the sense of making sure that my presentation was always put. It didn't matter what they were doing to me. I was not going to let it show physically. And I think that's one thing that kept me so armed and strong. And I felt like a lot of people, what they saw me like pushing through was really survival. But I recognized in 2025, I was working a job. I went from being full time to part time to like no job because I ended up getting fired, to not only being fired, but I was fired during the week of, I was actually like job training for something else. So I was fired from one job, but the income didn't stop. After that, after my training stopped, the income also didn't stop. Um, 2025 on my map was going to be the year that my business was going to thrive and go full force because I had the income, I had the money coming in, I had like all this stuff that I was thinking. And it's just so crazy when I sit back and realize what God was also revealing to me. um I feel like I really weathered a storm where it didn't matter what people were saying or doing. My business did not fall by the wayside. And since me being fired in September, it's been 10 months at this point. I've had a plethora of different income just come in ways that I don't want to say never seen coming, but I didn't see a way or possible of it. I've had things cleared up that in a time where I anticipated having a job and like a steady income, that it was on the rollout board. And it wasn't until after I lost my job and things in my eyes, what was falling apart was really falling right into the right places. I started I ended the year of 2025 with no job, not really knowing anything that was in my control. And I don't want to say that's a if you know, but that's more of a just like, even at a point in time, there was stuff going on with my housing. Like, I feel like I won't be honest if I don't say it. There was even stuff going on with my housing that niggas, I don't want to say niggas, but I feel like people were saying and doing things to cause me trouble. And it's really by the grace of God, of just really revealing to me that I can think one thing, but He's going to always show me something else. So, in the midst of me, what it appeared to be things falling apart, things were really falling into place. I started this year with the strongest, like with the clearest path of how I wanted to operate my business, and the things that I set into place, or even just the momentum that I told myself that I needed to keep this thing going and growing, has been showing. I really want to thank everybody who has shopped with the brand, who has referred someone over, who has liked a post, who has shared it, who has reposted, who has posted a comment. If you have had any involvement with the brands, and I almost feel like it's crazy because a lot of my shoppers are not online. But I know that this message is going to reach them. So I say all this to say, because I'm just in reflection right now of just all of the things that I thought that was going to help push and propel me, only to be the downfall. But even in the midst of the downfall, God has revealed to me that things were only going to fall apart because they were going to fall into the right place. And within the time of me losing my job, so many doors and opportunities have opened up for me to be able to get back into modeling, to put my business out there, to even just get back out of hiding. Um, when I was working this job, one of the things, I just wanted to go to work and come home, be about my business. And in the time of the stuff that they were doing to me on the job, it's amazing. Like, I even say to myself how it's amazing that I didn't crash out, but I know that God was only strengthening me to be able to endure and also ignore. Because a lot of times when I tell the story, I talk about enduring all of the stuff that happened at that place, but I also want to highlight the amount of stuff that I recognize that I also was able to ignore. There's a lot of stuff that happened where someone who was weak minded would have just said, "Oh, you know what, fuck this job, I'm gonna quit this job." Like, there was stuff that was being done that people wanted me to quit so that other doors would be blocked. And it's amazing how when people don't know you, they'll also just end up revealing their own character. Like, there are stuff that was happening to me that when it came time to reveal, it was 2, 3, 4, 5 people speaking up saying at the same time. And it started to be a pattern. It started to be a pattern of the people that was talking about the shit that was going on to them. And then it was like the manipulation, and then it was just a lot. But I am so happy that God has been able to just show me that even when I think that I'm in control, that I'm not. Um, and there's a lot of messages in this. But one of the messages that I really want to make clear is when something is for you, it is not anyone's, like, no one's able to stop that. There's been times that I stopped modeling because there was so much stuff going on in my personal world that I was trying to figure out, like, how can I even show up and feel beautiful and work a job and do something for other people when I don't feel like that for myself. I started modeling almost 10 years ago, on and off 10 years. And I say that because when I first started, it was 2017. And after college, I came back to New York. I still had anticipated on modeling, but I also wanted to start doing makeup. But I really wanted to be a content creator. In the midst of that, we went through a pandemic. My entire focus and, like, priorities changed. My aunt died. My priorities changed. I went through a really bad depression. Like, makeup and taking care of myself and all this stuff wasn't on my front brain. I started a business without knowing that I was starting a business. At first, I was only gifting the candles to people that I loved, in terms of I wanted them to have something to think of or something to burn from me. And everyone loves handmade things. In the midst of that, there was just so many, like, confirmations to start it. Oh, I forgot to say, I was also selling lashes. So in the midst of me wanting to be a makeup artist slash content creator, I was also selling lashes during the pandemic. And that's where it feels like a lot of people think that they know me from makeup, but it's weird because it's like that dream never really started. But I also wanted to do makeup because at the time I didn't have eyebrows. So one of the things that people always try to tease me about, I wanted to fix and cover and hide up. So that's how I kind of really got into makeup. And then I was like, oh, like, I feel like I could do this for other people, which I have. Like, I've done people's makeup before, but then I realized, like, maybe I don't want to do this as a full-time thing. Then I started working a regular job, then I lost that job, and then I worked another job, and then I lost that job, and then life took a series of, like, small turns of just different leaps and opportunities, but it all propelled me back into business. There's a message in this. What's for you is not gonna miss you, because the doors of modeling and makeup still stands. And even though I thought that that dream was no longer there, because at the time there was people in my life that wasn't encouraging or wasn't really help, and I don't want to say helping, but they wasn't helping me to really grow that vision. It diverted. Then I had to deal with death. That diverted. But being able to come back into makeup, modeling, and business, and they all lap in some way, shape, or form. So I say all that to say, I really do want to thank everyone who has also been here from the beginning as well. It don't feel like a lot of people anymore, but I also recognize it's because a lot of people have also fell off. But in the time of this, there's also been a lot of people who have came on board. So I want to take a moment to say I receive your love. I acknowledge it. I thank you guys for it. Things do not go unnoticed when people mention good things about the business, mention good things about me, when you're speaking me into rooms, like all of that does not go unnoticed. And like I always tell my cousin, when we get rich, you are invited to the yacht party. And that's a real thing, so the girls know that one. Um, that's it. It's been a reflecting Sunday, and that's just been kind of some of my thoughts, rambled in one.